Hey, welcome back to Marta from Sparta. Today we're having super fun and exciting project. First of all, it's a second actually, a spring project. Yes, I am very excited, extra excited, because we're finally getting to the spring. And I have nice rosy cheeks because we were just traveling with boys and dropping off my spring collection to the Pink Cottage Company, which is again, in the whole sentence, is the word spring again. And it's kind of cold and it's raining. It's raining since 3 days, but it's helping the snow to go away. I love all seasons, I do. But this winter was especially tough in my area and I am super ready for spring. And why I am so extra happy today? I am extra happy because number one, I did so many things in the morning and I dropped off my spring collection into the local boutique, which I really love working with. Number two, we're doing spring video and spring shorts. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to wear them. And number three, we're using my patches. Yes, I designed a patches myself. So if you guys would like to do exactly same thing what I'm doing, my patches, custom patches for these projects are included in the link below. They also included in the video. So if you want to do exactly same thing which I'm doing, grab those and I'm gonna be so happy you supporting me this way. And if you don't want to buy my patches and you want to have a longer road to the same kind of or similar look, I'm gonna show you how to do it as well. I'm not gonna force you to buy anything, but if you will, I'm gonna really appreciate it because these are amazing. And I just don't wanna say yet who it is, but I partner up with one of the best thrift flippers on the whole YouTube, and she's making video using my patches. So I will let you know when it's ready. I will definitely share her video. But for now, I have to zip it and let's do another amazing free people dupe. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm kidding, but I'm really excited and happy. So I saw these shorts obviously on the Free People website because they know now that I am a sucker for them, so they keep sending me all these teasers and all these emails with stuff which I cannot afford, or I rather spend $300 or something else, but I still want to have those shorts. They are very expensive, I don't want to spend money on them, so I grabbed one of my old khaki shorts which I have for like years now, and I'm gonna flip them into this new shorts which Free People is actually showing me in emails constantly and reminding me, like they kind of know, Marta, when you're gonna do the video dupe, when? So after getting 20 emails about the same shorts and trying to make me buy them, I finally said to myself, fine, I will make a dupe, fine, so you can guys leave me alone. So today we're doing dupe. Now the question is, do you want me to show you hard way first or easier way first? Well, maybe we should flip the coin, or maybe we should flip the shorts. So, I think I will show you easy way first, and you can grab my patches before they're gonna be sold out. So the sooner you're gonna watch the videos, the sooner you can grab the patches, the sooner you can have this trending shorts. So maybe I will show you super easy way. I'm gonna show you my patches. I'm gonna show you how amazing they are, how colorful. And if you remember my video from last year about my strawberry project, I designed those strawberries myself. So you're gonna support the artist, you're gonna support me, and on top of that, you're gonna have amazing shorts. And if you do not have khaki shorts, something similar, Bermuda khaki shorts, whatever you guys call it, just grab your husband, long khaki pants, and just chop them. But because I love you so much and you guys supporting me so much, oh my goodness, my hair is not working with me today at all. Because I love you guys so much, and if you don't want to ruin your husband pants and just chop them to Bermudas, or if you do not have Bermudas in this color, I went through the trouble, and of course I searched the Amazon and I found almost exactly same shorts as Free People's, but without the strawberries. So the strawberry part, you will still have to do it with me. I'm just gonna provide you a link to exactly same shorts, but strawberries, you and I, we will have to do it together, and I'm gonna show you how. So without the further ado, let's go save the money. Let's keep our husbands happy, because if our banks account are happy, our husbands are happy. So let's go do it and have fun. Okay, let's talk about now what's happening over here. So we're starting with making our own patches if you are preferring this way. What I'm actually using, I am using regular, I think, red cotton fabric. I bought it on Amazon, and I can link it in description below because that's gonna definitely give you exactly same results or not. If you're gonna use the same fabric. So what I did, as you see over here, I prepared 4 different patches because I thought 10 minutes it's more than enough. And I use a dropper, and I put a tiny dots of bleach on each of them, and I set the timer for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. And now you can see difference how they bleached. And I said that 5 minutes is very close to 10 minutes, and 3 minutes is very close to 1 minute. But they still, you have variety of strength. And now it depends which version you want to choose, or you can create your own version. But I would strongly recommend to create a patch test first, because you do not know how your fabric will react. The other thing which I learned from this, as you see on this patch, for example, they blend in, and they bleed together, and I don't like this look at all. So you have to be very careful how much bleach you will put and how far apart between the drops you're gonna put them, because otherwise they're gonna blend in and you're gonna end up with something like that, which that's what we don't want, right? Ideally I want to have a 5 minutes strength, but with this type of size of drops. And that's going to be kind of hard to accomplish because, as you know, it's very unpredictable what we can do with a bleach. So that's what I recommend doing first. When you decide to buy your own fabric, so you're going to need actually 2 fabrics. You're going to need green for the stem and the leaves, and you're going to need red. So you're going to need 2 different fabrics if you want to create your own strawberry patches. And then you're going to have to go through the process of bleaching and getting the kind of result you want. And then you have to obviously wash it because bleach will penetrate your fabric. So you need to actually wash it and I forgot this word, and neutralize it. And I have the video how I do it, and I'm gonna link this video in description below. I have full video how to bleach and neutralize the bleach, so you can learn from that video. We're not gonna go through this right now if I made the whole video just about bleaching the clothes and neutralize them. So that's how it's gonna look like. And the next thing which you're gonna do if you choose this option, you need to draw your own strawberries in a variety of sizes. I'm saying variety of sizes because if you see on the inspiration images, these are not one size strawberries. There is variety of strawberries over there, variety of sizes, so you can create enough strawberries for your shorts in enough of variety sizes for your shorts. And on top of that, also you have to go through this process of creating them, and I'm gonna also show you how to do that. You can find the clip art for free on the internet, and I actually found some strawberries in variety of sizes on the internet, and I'm gonna create these patches from scratch and show you how to make them if you choose to go this road. And I'm gonna start first from cutting out the shape of the strawberries and the number of strawberries which I want for my shorts. And the reason for it is because when I'm going to be bleaching, I want to know where exactly I would like to place the droplets, bleach droplets. If I'm gonna just randomly do it on the fabric and then cut out the strawberries, then this seeds not gonna necessarily end up in the spots which I wanted them to be, right? So let's start with tracing and creating our strawberries, and then we're gonna do bleaching and drying and creating our own patches. And that's going to be a hard way if you choose to do it this way, and it's also super fun. It's not necessarily less expensive. It's gonna be more expensive and more time consuming, but if you choose to do it by yourself and have this creative control, then I strongly support you doing that. So let's do that first, and I'm gonna bring my shorts and I'm gonna see how many patches would I like to place on my shorts. And obviously they're gonna be in variety of sizes, and probably I'm gonna have to flip them, so they're not gonna exactly always be the same direction, and look at that. So yeah, let's get to work because it will be a lot of work. Alrighty, lovely bunnies. So I decided to cut 6 big strawberries. These are doubles. That's why I pinned them, because I was cutting the fabric double. It's not gonna move and they're gonna be even. So I cut it 6 large strawberries. It might be too much because I am small, so my shorts kind of like small, but they might be also good coverage if I want to do less patches. But I cut 6, and I cut 4 of mediums, and I also cut 4 of smalls. So before I'm going to actually cut stems, because stems and leaves are more detail work, and as you see, it's a lot of cutting. I'm gonna first do like a try on my shorts how many I need, because I really don't want to go through cutting extra stems, because if I really don't need that many, I don't really go through the process of doing that. It's a lot of work as is. So I'm gonna try that. What I wanted to see also, as you see, I did a clip art of strawberries, and all strawberries are this way. I cut out the stems out of them, so you see like they have this kind of like a cutouts for stems. But when I was cutting my strawberry, I kind of rounded up that part. Round it up like that, because I don't want to be in the position of matching that. And I think it's also easier to place it wherever you want to place the stem without worrying about going right exactly where it's supposed to go, right? So I just round it up, and it's gonna be easier for me to place stems. Also, if you looked at the inspiration images, they have quite a lot of dots and like a seeds on the strawberries. And again, you don't have to do exactly what they do. I used what is that? That's like a water this it's gonna dissolve in water. It's a marker, so the moment when I'm gonna wash them, the marker will dissolve. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, before I'm gonna actually put a bleach on it, I'm gonna like mark with this marker where I want those dots. I just don't want to randomly guess. So when I'm gonna be bleaching, time is crucial, right? So I'm not gonna stand there and kind of think like, okay, I'm gonna put this dot here, this dot there, because if you think about it, if you more you're gonna be standing, the longer the bleach will be processing your fabric. So you have to be prepared for that. If you do not have this marker, you don't have to. You might have a chalk, like a regular chalk, or what I used to do when I was a child, we didn't have this fancy supplies for sewing. My mom was using a soap, and she was marking everything with a dry soap, right? Like a soap bar. She shaved like a soap bar, and she was using a soap bar for sewing. So you don't have to have this fancy supplies. You can go easy. You can do it even pencil, like, or you can just eyeball it, whatever you want. Just please remember that based on my example over here, if you're gonna place them to if you're gonna place them too close, that's what's going to happen. I love that a lot. I love this. I love that. But this, I don't. So I'm also kind of worried. I'm not saying that because I did the patches, I'm gonna master it second time. It's gonna be also guessing. But I'm definitely, because I'm making so many at the same time with my droplet, I'm gonna definitely mark where I want the dots to go, because the processing time, it's specific. So let's get to the part number 2, which, before you're gonna go through more cutting and more trouble, let's see how many patches I'm gonna do on my shorts. And also, because I was recommending the shorts on Amazon, I didn't want to recommend something which I never put my hands on it, and then you guys gonna buy it and it's not gonna be good. So I decided in between, when I was recording this video, order these shorts, and the shorts actually are amazing. The only feedback which I have for you, they run very small. So I am size small generally, or extra small, depends from the brands, and I got size medium, and I washed them, so they shrink tiny bit, but they still like slightly oversized. They're not super oversized, they're just a little bit oversized. So take this feedback under consideration if you would like to buy the shorts from my link. And I felt bad actually just finding something and never try it and just recommending that to you, but this way at least I put my hands on the shorts. Actually, I'm gonna bring the shorts here so you can guys see them. Oh, here we go. That's the shorts. and they have elastic waist, which I really love. I probably should iron them before I'm gonna stitch the patches on them, but like I said, I wash them and I really love them. And then we're gonna obviously add the rope over here and stuff, but I got them in size medium and they are not super oversized on me, so medium goes to small. But again, also your body shape might be different than mine. I'm specifically just talking about myself because I didn't want them to be fit, but I didn't also want them to be as baggy as on the model. That super baggy is not my jam. So I wanted them to be a little bit oversized, but not too oversized. So medium worked perfectly for me after they were washed. And please remember, if you're doing patches on new garment, just please pre-wash it, because everything gonna shrink tiny bit and it's gonna change the whole design and something might get like really ugly over there. So I'm gonna now turn on my iron as a matter of fact, and I'm gonna iron the shorts, and in the meantime I'm gonna try the placement, and we will see how many strawberries I need on size medium. So at least if you guys gonna use the same shorts I'm using, you guys gonna at least have reference how many strawberries you need. Also, another thing about doing your own patches, you have to think about that when you're gonna get a clip art, you're gonna have to kind of size it yourself, you know, like you're gonna have to play with scale on your printer what size of this strawberries you want. And I did that multiple times. It is also like a process of errors. So that's another down to making your own patches. It's extremely rewarding because I am very excited to make them this way as well. But I'm just saying that through the whole labor and money you're spending, you're going to have a printer and also figure it out sizing. So you're gonna have to play with the scale on your printer and just print a few strawberries and see what sizes you need on your shorts. I did that when I was trying on that on my old shorts, which I was planning to use, and I print out gazillion strawberries before I got to the point that I said, okay, large one gonna be this size, medium gonna be this size, and a small gonna be this size. I'm sure you know what I mean, and everything has to be nicely balanced. And then I came to the conclusion that I am recommending you guys something on Amazon, which I never tried, so I better buy the shorts, which I'm actually recommending, and try them on before I'm gonna open my mouth and you guys gonna hate me that you spend the money. And the shorts are super soft and super nice. I love them. Just the sizing is very funny, so you might play with that, but Amazon is also good with exchanges. So that's that. I'm gonna stop yapping and let's get to work. As I predicted, I'm not gonna need that many strawberries. My shorts, I mean, it depends from the taste, right? You might guys want to place more patches than I did. I decided to go just with whatever I have here because I don't want to overcrowd it. So I end up having 1, 2, 3 big strawberries out of 5, which I cut out, 2 medium strawberries, and 3 small. And the small ones I have to trim to be even smaller because composition wise it didn't make sense. So that's going to be my placement. And what I'm going to do before I'm going to actually take them off to bleach them, I'm gonna use my water soluble marker and I'm gonna trace around each strawberry so I will know where exactly I want to put them back. And then you can do exactly the same thing using either chalk or a soap, like a dry soap, which I mentioned before. So I'm gonna do that before I'm gonna actually take them off for bleaching. I'm gonna cut out the stems, and stems I'm not gonna bleach, obviously stems doesn't need anything, but I'm gonna cut them out before I'm gonna move strawberries. I'm gonna actually cut them out to see if I actually like the strawberries where they are, because I might not like the, I don't know, this stem facing this way, so I might need to do some little tweaks. So I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna cut out the stems. Then if I like as everything is, I'm gonna trace everything so I will be sure that they staying where they staying and the position they are. And then we're gonna get into the bleaching part, which is actually the nerve-wracking part. I do not have any plain green fabric in the studio, so I'm using the fabric which has like a tiny pattern on it, because this part of the video is for me to show you only how to create the patches from scratch. So you can buy plain green fabric if you want to. I'm gonna walk you through it, how to complete the whole patch from the scratch, and then I'm gonna make a second part of the video which we're going to be using my patches. And this is personal preference. I'm gonna finish up those shorts using my patches, but to some point the process of application and doing what we're gonna be doing, it will be exactly same. I just want to walk you through the process so we can meet with the DIY patches and my patches to the same point, and then you're gonna decide which patches you wanna do, and application process is exactly same regardless if you're choosing option 1 or if you're choosing option 2, if that makes sense to you. So I will still gonna go through all this process with you, and I'm gonna show you everything, but my choice will be to use my patches, and I will save the patches which I made with you guys maybe for some other project. I definitely not gonna waste them, but I was very excited that I actually have my first set of patches that I want to use them on my first spring project. I'm sorry if you hear the laundry in the background, but I am actually pre-washing all the patches for sale. Everything just came out beautifully today. I couldn't be happier. It's really, really great day for me, and I really appreciate everything which is happening in my life right now. But let's get back to the video. So now my patches, and I cut out the stems for them, but I'm not gonna attach them until my patches are actually ready and after bleaching and drying. So I'm preparing my station. I'm using like a dog pee pad, and that was the pad which I used for actually patch testing. So I'm gonna unclick my patches. I already mark my pens with where they should go back, and yeah, let's just mark on the strawberries where we want to place the bleach, and we're gonna start bleaching, and oh my goodness, we're gonna see what's gonna come out. Okay, so I mark my placements, and I have like a flat dish here. I'm gonna pour just plain water in there and a little bit baking soda. So you can see the recipe actually in my video, which I'm gonna link in the description below. That's gonna neutralize the bleach, and that's going to stop the bleach from penetrating. So I'm gonna have this dish over here, and just like tweezers, there is a tiny bit of bleach over here and the droplet, and I'm gonna set the timer, and I want from all this, I think I like the number 3 because it's strong enough, but also I don't want sharp edges. I want like the edges which are very, very like soft, you know what I'm saying, more like a bulky kind of look. So I'm gonna set the timer for 3 minutes, and I'm gonna quickly place the droplets, and yeah, and I'm gonna keep dipping them over here. So I'm gonna place you guys on time lapse, and let's do it. I did this stitches around. If you look at the inspiration images, they have like this kind of not perfect, kind of like a messy stitch around the bleached seeds, right? So in the beginning I was kind of too perfect. I will try to find I was going like very nicely, at least I tried to go very nicely around it, but then I noticed like inspiration image, they actually very, very messy. See, I was trying to be too nice, and then I started to be less nice to it. But what helped me to do the less nice is this quilting foot, which is kind of freehand quilting foot, and that's the settings I was working with, and that's how they came out, and I love how they came out. Now what I'm going to do, actually, I'm gonna clip the stems to it, and I'm gonna kind of, I think that I'm gonna attach the backing to it because it's too fragile, and then kind of do the zigzag stitch and other stuff. So I have to think about the step number 2 and how I want to execute it, because this is very thin, and we still have to texturize this stem and leaves. So I want to texturize this once it's attached to the strawberry. So I'm gonna think for a minute about that. Let me show you the patches. So you're basically going to receive in your patch set 1 patch of like small ones, like smaller, and the tiny ones if you want it for the hat, for the bag. Like the tiny ones has also their purpose, and 1 patch of the larger and medium ones, and that 2 sets, that set will be enough to create your short. So all the patches of mine will come pre-washed, so you don't have to wash the fabric. They already gonna be pre-washed. These are not, because they just came in. I'm gonna go through the trouble of cutting them and pre-wash the fabric, so you guys don't have to. You're just gonna have fresh start. But generally you just need to buy one set, and one set gonna bring you to these two sizes, and that's what you need to make this amazing shorts. Okay, so now I'd like to show you how the strawberries look like, and that's comparison. That's the strawberry, which I was making from separate pieces. And again, the more imperfect this will be, the more fun and actually perfect it will be. Because if you're gonna look at inspiration images, all this stitching is not perfect. So there's a lot of fun distressing, and that's how I end up doing the patch if you would do it from two fabrics. So again, you're gonna need to buy red fabric, you're gonna need to buy green fabric, and then you're gonna have to do the bleaching, neutralizing, and then you're gonna have to stitch all around that. The zigzag stitch I'm gonna add when I'm gonna add the patch into the pants. Now let's move on from DIY patches, and I'm gonna show you the patches which are already made if you don't want to go through this process. One more thing I want to mention: if you're gonna look at inspiration images, those strawberries over here, they have like a tons of seeds, which makes them look super fun. If you're gonna do the bleach part of it, it's really hard to make them super close, because if you're gonna attempt to make them super close, what's gonna happen, the bleach dots gonna actually bleed into each other, so you have to keep the distance no matter what. So it's really challenging to keep them as close as frequent, because they're gonna bleed into each other. So that's the strawberry, one example which I made. And also the other thing which I want to tell you, obviously if you're going to use the bleach, the whole fabric is getting a little bit more vibrant, it's changing a little bit the color after bleaching. So now, as far as the strawberries from my patch go, number one, I think, which it's easier, I start to do those stitching, and I'm gonna cut off all the threads. I just didn't do it yet because it's on one piece of fabric. So if you're gonna do this freehand thing on the sewing machine, if you're gonna use that foot, it's definitely easier to move the whole fabric around. I had a really hard time to just maneuver the strawberry if I cut them out, and the reason why I cut them out is because I wanted to know where to place the seeds, the bleach. So the big strawberry wasn't that bad at all. The small strawberry, the tiny one, was very hard to move around under this foot. If you're gonna be using my patches, I strongly recommend not to cut the strawberries first. Do not first do this, because it's gonna be easier to move the whole fabric around and you have something to grip on. So that's what I did. I kept the whole piece and I did the seeds on every strawberry on this piece for now. I still have to go to the small piece, and now I'm gonna do this kind of embroidery on the leaves of the stems of strawberries. And where's the small one? And that's the other patch which you're gonna need. You're gonna get it as a set. So from this set, you're basically just doing it on the small strawberries. This tiny strawberries we're basically not using unless you really want to. Then you can do that. If you ever want to use the small strawberries, I would say one stitch over one seed would be just great. But now I'm gonna go through just these ones. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 those, and then I'm gonna do stems on all of them, and then I'm gonna remove this tiny thread. So it's a lot of work. Regardless if you're doing or those or mine, I think it's obviously it's more work with this because you have to go to additional steps until you get to stitching, right? Because if you buy the patches, you only get into the stitching and fabric is pre-washed and the stem is attached. With this one, you also have to attach the stem to the strawberry, which also wasn't that easy for me, but I am not that great patch creator yet. That's why I rather to work on something like that. The reason why I'm gonna do my patches on the shorts, and it's not because they are my patches, I just like this look better. Personally, it's just more appealing to me to do something like which looks more like a strawberry, and this one also has the watercolor which I painted on it, which makes the strawberry look a little bit more distressed. This one is too cartoony to me, but this is me. And again, this is not because these are my patches. This is because that's what I prefer for myself. If you like this look better, go ahead. Because once I'm gonna bring those strawberries to this point, when the stem also gonna be stitched, the process of attaching them to the shorts gonna be exactly same. So regardless which one you choose, the next step will be exactly the same. Getting to this step, it's completely different because those patches takes obviously more work. I finally went through the all strawberries and I also did stems, as you see, just like that. There is a stitch around the strawberry, but I think I'm gonna do this stitch when I'm gonna be putting the strawberry on my Bermudas. But also the difference between this strawberry and this strawberry, that I'm gonna be able to cut out this white space which you see on the inspiration image. Let me just unlock my iPad. Like, they have this tiny white space around them, so that's what I'm gonna be able to do for this patches, but I'm not able to do it for those. I mean, I can add another level of patch and stitch it on the white fabric, but I really don't want to go through this effort. I just wanted to show you how to create this strawberry and versus this strawberry, and you can guys decide which one you're gonna use. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna cut them out with some forgiving room around for zigzag stitch, and I'm gonna place them on my Bermudas, and I guess that will be it. I'm kind of considering ironing them, but they have this fun texture right now from the zigzag stitch on the seeds, so I'm kind of like on the fence because I kind of like how they feel. When I'm cutting them out, I'm gonna also think if I should place this iron on like for them in the back, so and iron them on first so they're not gonna move and sit flat on my pants. And we can do the same thing for this strawberry, but I will think about it if it's necessary when I'm cutting them out, and on the next clip I'm gonna tell you what I have decided. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can go back to my Dolce & Gabbana video when I was creating actually iron on patches for Dolce & Gabbana pajama / outdoor set. So you can see that. I'm not going to explain this all over again. There is specific paper for that, which I'm going to link in description below. And I'm going to probably go with that because I'm not going to open Bermudas. I just don't want to like open them and go through the trouble of closing them again. So I might create iron on patches before stitching. So I'm going to be sure that everything stays in place. I lost audio for this clip. I'm not sure how is that happen, and I'm recording outside. Today is the first gorgeous spring day, so I'm sorry guys for the background noise, but I'm outside with all animals and we're having a really great time just soaking the sun. But back to the clip. In this clip I was showing you actually how the strawberries look like when they cut out, and I apply this adhesive backing to them, and I'm just gonna iron them on my pants to keep them there when I'm gonna be doing zigzag stitch around. And we can do it to either version, DIY version or my version. We're doing that to both versions. You don't have to do adhesive. Adhesive is optional, and I like to do it so it keeps my patches in place. But if you feel comfortable, you can just basically pin your patches in place, and that will do exactly same job. Or you can do adhesive if you don't want to do stitching because you do not know how to use the sewing machine. I think that's the general message which I was giving you guys in this clip, and I was trying to show you, and that my patches have this white board which I'm gonna use actually to do my zigzag stitching around it, and then I'm gonna actually do some painting around this, because if you see on inspiration images, this board is not white, it's like slightly pinkish peach color. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I guess that's what I'm trying to point it out in this clip. It was very tedious work, but I stitched the strawberries on top of my shorts just like that, and I mixed some color, because if you're gonna look at inspiration images, the outline of strawberries is actually like a peachy kind of pink color. So I did some tests. First one came out a little bit too dark. I don't want to dark that much, so I'm kind of liking it just slightly pinkish, and I'm gonna take a paintbrush and I'm just gonna paint all these white edges all around the strawberry to get that kind of hue. Guys, just look at the shorts. Today we have 70 degrees day, and I was able to actually bring shorts outside and show you in the daylight on my deck. I can't wait when we're gonna power wash the deck and chill again, but shorts look amazing. I am extremely happy that I decided to do this additional stitch. I told you that I bled a little bit on purpose the pink beyond the strawberry, and it looked very unfinished. So what I decided to do, I know that that's not on the inspiration image, but this is what I wanted. On top of doing this inside kind of stitch outline, I did the outline outside, right on the borders where actually the pink bled, and I actually love that because it looks very, very finished. I am so pleased with the shorts. I'm so pleased how they came out and how the patches actually present themselves. And again, if you like the other look, if you like the more cartoon look, which I showed you technique number 1, go ahead and do the other ones. It's also fun. It's you know, beauty is in eye of beholder. Look at this, they look so pretty. And that's the front. Here my onyx sleeps here, and yeah, he's getting charged his battery for barky later. And look at this. There is really no that many comments I have about it. I really enjoy the process of making either patches. As I said, the other patches are way more time consuming, obviously. If you have the time on your hands and you want to go through this process, go ahead and do the other part. If you like my patches, I'm linking them in description below. I'm tagging them in the video. And basically, when you're gonna purchase my patches, you're getting a full set, which is ready for your Bermuda shorts. And you're gonna still have some left over because mine are medium and I still have lots of strawberries from my patches left over. So it depends how many you want to put. I put kind of like, I would say decent amount, but because I didn't want to overcrowd my Bermudas, I really liked composition on Free People shorts. So I think they look pretty amazing. I'm gonna show you boys from studio to deck. It's Teddy's first warm weather. He was born on summer, but when he was puppy, he spent already like a time inside. So he only knows snow and bad weather. So yeah, back to shorts. I love them. I hope you're gonna make them. Let me know if you're gonna be trying making your own patches from scratch, or if you rather have ready patches like those, or maybe you have a fabric which has strawberry on it. If you're gonna buy my set, I provide small and big strawberries, so there's variety of sizes. And also directions they're going, so they're not gonna look exactly same, if you know what I mean. So yeah, let me know if you are planning to make this project, if you like this Bermudas. I am really curious about your opinion, if the technique number 1 or technique number 2 is more appealing to you. They both meet at some point and gonna be exactly same, but just getting to this point of attaching them to the Bermudas, it's obviously different journey. So let me know if you're gonna be going through the journey of making them from scratch, or you're gonna be actually buying strawberry patches from the link. Thank you so much for watching again. Thank you for spending Sunday with me. I really appreciate you, and I'm gonna see you next week with another amazing dupe.